You're doing everything you know to do. You're praying. You're reading scripture. You're serving faithfully. Yet something feels off. Life feels harder, not easier. Doors are closing. People are leaving. And late at night you're asking the question you're afraid to say out loud. Did I miss God's voice? Am I on the wrong path? Here's the truth most people never tell you. You're not on the wrong path. You just don't recognize what God's path actually looks like. Today, I want to show you 7 signs that confirm you're walking in God's will, not your own. And most of them look nothing like what you expected. Sign number 1. You're facing resistance you never faced before. You thought obedience would make life smoother. Instead, everything became harder. And now you're wondering, if this is God's will, why does it feel like everything is fighting me? Scripture gives the answer. We do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces. When you were living comfortably for yourself, there was no resistance. But the moment you surrendered to God's direction, the pressure began. That's not failure. That's confirmation. The enemy doesn't fight people going nowhere. Resistance means your obedience matters. Stop reading difficulty as disapproval. It's evidence that chains are breaking. Sign number 2. You're losing people who once supported you. This one hurts deeply. Friends grow distant. Family questions your decisions. People who once celebrated you fall silent. And you think, if I were truly following God, wouldn't people understand? Not always. Jesus said his way would divide, because obedience exposes compromise. Growth makes stagnation uncomfortable. When you live for approval, everyone stayed. Now that you live for God, some cannot. If your circle is shrinking but your faith is growing, you're not losing. You're being refined. God removes what no longer fits. Where He's taking you. Sign number 3. You're no longer controlled by things that once ruled you. Drama doesn't hook you like it used to. Gossip doesn't pull you in. The need to defend yourself is fading. And you wonder, am I becoming cold? Now, don't ignore. You're becoming mature. Transformation looks like this. What once triggered you now bores you. What once excited you now feels empty. That isn't apathy. That's renewal. If you're choosing peace over petty conflict and God's approval over people's opinions, you're on His path. Sign number 4. You're being stripped before you're built. You prayed for blessing and experienced breaking. You asked for promotion and entered pruning. And now you're afraid you did something wrong. Listen carefully. God doesn't prune dead branches. He prunes fruitful ones. What feels like loss is preparation. What feels like removal is alignment. God is taking away what you cannot carry into your next season. We're not being buried. You're being planted. Sign number 5. You're hearing God more clearly in quiet places. You used to rely on loud moments to feel God. Now you hear Him in stillness, in ordinary decisions, in quiet prayer, in the silence. That's not weakness. That's intimacy. Those on their own path need noise to feel alive. Those on God's path hear Him in a whisper. God doesn't compete with chaos. He speaks to those who make room to listen. Sign number 6. Obedience. He matters more to you than outcomes. Your prayers have changed. You used to ask God to bless your plans. Now you ask Him to guide your steps. You obey even when the reward isn't visible. You forgive without guarantees. You trust without timelines. That's faith. When you're on your own path, you negotiate with God. When you're on His, you obey and trust Him with the results. Sign number 7. You're becoming more like Christ. This is the clearest sign of all. Your reactions are different. Your words are softer. Your patience is deeper. Your love is growing. You're not perfect, but you're changing. And you're not doing it for applause. You're doing it because you're being transformed. When you were on your own path, you blended in. Now you stand apart, not in pride, but in likeness to Christ. That's the confirmation. So hear this clearly. God's path won't always feel right, but it will always be right. Stop waiting for comfort. Stop looking for approval. Stop doubting just because it's hard. You're not lost. The path is just different than you expected, and that's exactly how you know it's God's.